morning. Welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA. Look, I was asleep when this happened. I was so asleep when this happened. Then I started trying to take the short position on it after I woke up and realized, oh, okay, we did a little bit of a tweezer top up here. Not actually a double top, but definitely a little tweezer top situation right there. I kept trying to take the entry on this little candle top right here, and Blowfin kept giving me some sort of a message about liquidity changed or whatever. It would not let me, and then finally I started to slide the bar and finally made it in, but it's not the best position. So hopefully, it looks like we could potentially come back up here for this high. We'll see if we can get that. I know that we are definitely in resistance territory. So we got very overextended here on the 4-hour time frame. I know that we talked about getting a push into this ascending line right here, this one here. And then if we happen to push through this one, then we would get up here to this one right here. And I'm gonna tell you, the daily time frame, I'm really liking the way, actually the weekly, I'm really liking the way the weekly time frame is shaping up. We would definitely put in a bear div, if anything, first. I mean, we have the potential to go higher, but we definitely put in a bear div, and then that'll give us an indication of a better short position. But right now, I am going to persist on this area right here. So if price comes back up here, I'm going to just re-enter on the position. So I'm gonna allow myself to get, to close out the position, because like I said, it's kind of crappy entry because I didn't get it until this candle right here. So it is what it is. But yeah, the weekend move is kind of crazy, kind of crazy. When we bounce right here, we just filled in one gap off of CME. I can show you that gap that we filled in here off of CME. I'm gonna go back to the 15-minute time frame right here. So on this drop right here, we filled in our first little gap here on CME, which was this one right here. So we had this gap right here. We dropped down, we bounced off of that. There's one more gap down here, and I just set an alarm on this for the top side of this gap. So if price were to come down here, so maybe we put in like a little head and shoulders, get a bit more of a correction on the 4-hour time frame, and then get this continued move to the upside. So let's see if something like that will happen with Biddy. But we can pumpy pump, kind of crazy. On Friday we had I did a tweet and a Bitcoin watch party for a bounce from this level right in here, I want to post it on it. I know I've updated my liquidity levels in here, but it was right in here. I think it was, yeah, it was right in here. So I did take that long, and I closed it out over the weekend. I probably closed it out somewhere. Oh, was it here? It was here. Yeah, it was so long from here, I think. But I closed it. No, hold on. Yeah, we were all down here. We was all down here. We were somewhere down there. I know that much is true. Let's see. Where were we? Yeah. So I did a tweet right here on a Bitcoin watch party right here in this area. So we actually bounced off of this down here. So right here off of this prior high right here that we chop. So we got the Asia breakout. This Asia session breakout right here. So this is actually where we bounced from, right here. So I took that long position. I have closed that out. It was on my little small account there. I closed it out sometime yesterday, and it continued to go higher. So I missed out on all of that. The rest of it anyway, just no big deal. This right here finished playing out, of course, on Friday, and we got that initial push up there. So we'll see if we can't get back in here. Like I said, it's gonna be some pretty good resistance right here. I'll show you right here on your daily time frame. So if you're trading, well, if you use VWAP, my suggestion, it's just my suggestion only, because you would treat it like a fair value range, right? So it would be to use it in consolidation. I've seen how a lot of people plant their anchored VWAP. I don't like it. I don't like it because I really am not a big fan of VWAP. Only when we're in consolidation do I like using the VWAP. So in consolidation, you're gonna get your entry a lot better. In consolidation, you can see how the tap right here. I took that short, tap there, and you can see how the tap is here as well. If you were using it any other kind of way, you've broken through this a lot more. Whereas in here, it's a lot less. It's more of a resistance zone or fair value. Um, it identifies the fair value like this in the consolidation range, like this. That's how I like to use the VWAP. I don't like to use the VWAP when prices is doing this right here because it just hugs one of the lower bands. It doesn't really give you like a resistance point. Not really, not really. But anyway, that's almost in sync with us really getting the tap here into this level right here, and also where we have the well, that's the measure move from this break right here. But you have your 60 EMA right here, the one right here, and then you have your deviation 3 right here. So nice little area right here. If it comes back up again, short, 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 short. If we can get it back up there, we can get it back up there. Like I said, 4 hour did get a little bit extended, very much extended, but it doesn't mean it can't swing back up there one more time. And once it comes back into this, be looking to short. Okay, not financial advice, but that's what I'll be doing. That's what I'll be doing. Uh, Try to get a better entry on the short position here. All right. Bots is what we got. 60 EMA here again, and then your VWAP, of course, which is just plotted on this right here, as opposed to, let's see, let's hide that. Let's hide this. I don't like it. I know a lot of people are doing it like this, and let me just clean this up. A lot of people are doing it like that. You see how it just pushes through there? I can't stand that. I can't stand that. You see how clean the other band was? Yeah, I'd rather have it like that. I don't want it pushing all up through there like that. Mm-mm. Not my forte. Not mine. But ooh, I like that. Bam, tap, rejection. Tap and rejection. That's what I like. Anyway, looks pretty decent though. Put that. I really have to have this on. Just leave it alone. Let's see over here. So we know that we're also in the resistance point right here where you have these wicks in here. I don't really care for wicks as resistance points, but again, we're pushing higher. And I do think that we will at some point. I'm just trying to see how much this 4 hour wants to cool off for us. Bollinger Bands look pretty decent here on the weekly time frame. We are above standard deviation 1 now, which is pretty decent. I'm saying maybe we correct a little bit in here, and then we get to continue move back up here to the top side of this channel right here. So ultimately that's my get a bigger correction off of the daily time frame. But we'll have to see because we could just go sideways. I mean, I'm not trying to assume this is a low or not the low. You know, I just want to see where we're hitting resistance at so I can short it. And when we hit support, I just want a long. That's it. If I try to think too hard about the rest of it, sometimes it's just not worth it. It's confusing. I'm at resistance. That's all I know. I'm gonna try to short it. If that resistance don't work, I get to the next resistance, and I'm gonna try to short it there too. It's simplified, but that's what we have here. That's what we have here. We're at resistance. We're at major resistance, and 4 hour exhaustion. A little bit of 4 hour exhaustion there. Now MACD still looks really nice. If we're pushing back up, like I said, we can still get back to that high. Let's put in those little wicks up there. Putting in those little wicks up there. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got some pretty nice liquidity down below us too. Like we got this liquidity in here. I didn't marker it, but we have that liquidity right there. We have the um I think this right here was what this previously low or something. Might have been. We got some good liquidity right here. This is like my really I've been harping on this liquidity right here and we haven't come back to it yet. I guess I'm gonna have to let that vision go. Actually it was this one right here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let that go. But anyway, wicked wick, wick, wick. That last little bit of volume, like that was oof, okay. It's the weekend though. It was the weekend. I think that's why I kind of like got out of it too. We'll see. If we get that move back up there, it's a good short opportunity in my opinion. So that's what I'm doing. I'm already sitting in the little bitty short and bad entry. Like I said, it was actually this candle right here. If you're looking at it from the 15-minute time frame, and I was trying to just catch a little wick high. It wouldn't even let me get that. So actually, it was this one right here. It was this candle right here. I think I ended up catching like the break right before we got the break, just slightly before we got the break right here. So easy for me to get stopped out, which is cool. They killed us on Friday. They really, really did because we had all this exhaustion in here on this 4 hour and they kept squeezing it, squeezing it, squeezing it, squeezing it. Finally, like I said, I did catch that short right there. I posted my entry on this short right here. So yeah, I got stopped out when this happened while I was sleeping, which is fine. But it was such an amazing short position to grab on that squeeze to the upside. We really got overextended in here, like extremely overextended. I looked back at it and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm taking because I told you I was going to try it again. I said if it comes back up, I'm just going to try to short it again because the 15-minute was showing a lot of exhaustion. Don't really see that now, but it did get really extended in here on the 15-minute time frame again on this push right here to the upside. It really, really, really did. I think it did even more than it did the first time before, like crazy, 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 crazy. So if we can get a little bit more pullback in here, great, great. Oh, I'm talking, and I was saying the weekly. Hold on, I'm on one out. I'm talking, and I was saying the. This is the monthly. I'm saying the weekly looks a lot better here on the Bollinger Bands too. So let's just that. So I said we're above standard deviation one in here, curving up from the bottom side here. So this all looks really nice. And like I said, ultimately what I think we'll be able to do is to get into here and to take the liquidity from the top side of this range here from this mother bar here, take the liquidity from up here, getting a little closer to that 20 SMA there. So I think that we would get through here and we would do that much at least. Um, Whether or not we do this right here, like that's a lot more than what I anticipate will happen, simply because of the slope here on this 20 SMA. Just I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about right in here. All right, that's all I'm thinking about right there. I see oil getting a little bit of a pullback, and you look over here at USDT dominance, and you can see how yeah, same difference. Came really close, and it's happening on the little trend line right here. And like I said, this whole time through and through since up here, I think we come back to this. That's why I still believe that Bitcoin will go higher. Um, but we have to cool off too, right? So uh, here. Like, it just makes sense to me that price action would come back here to this trend line right here, possibly bounce one more time in here for USDT dominance, and then get the rollover if we're going to get it, because it is a bearish formation. And this is something I'd be looking for to break down. I mean, you see the pattern on Bitcoin as well, and Bitcoin did break down from it. And most of the time, this pattern does resolve with a break to the downside. It may not always play out the measured move, but it definitely results in a break to the downside. So right now, I'm just simply looking for price action to come back into the support level right here, tap on this trend line. May not actually tap it, but have to, just have to identify that and say when or not it might reverse. But that's it. Like, nothing has changed with my idea in here. Yeah. Then I was looking at it on the weekly and just comparing it. So if we were to get the breakdown, of course, you can see how far we have to go down here to catch the support. So um, at some point, I'm not looking for it right now. Not looking for it just yet, but at some point, I mean, USDT dominance will come lower and Bitcoin will go higher. When you look at USDT dominance, you can see the difference. Like when you look at the wicks on Bitcoin, especially from the weekly time frame, it looks different. It looks different because on Bitcoin it's a counter trend, but right here, like, you can tell, like, this is bearish. You can tell, like, this was bearish, but when you look at it on Bitcoin, you would think that it was, you would look at it and think it's bearish, and honestly, it's not. It's not based on where the candle wick took place at, and bears weren't able to flip that candle red. Period. They couldn't break price down below the prior open. So that's the difference. Like, that's a huge difference. Because I remember when we got the wick, and a lot of people were like, not this one right here, but like the one right here, like this one right here. Like, it's not at the top of the trend, so you don't treat it like you would, you know, a reversal candle. You wouldn't treat it like a reversal candle. You just wouldn't. It's not. It's not at the top. It's in the middle of the range. So I have to read candles differently in here, and yeah, it was pretty bullish on Bitcoin's behalf. Absolutely, absolutely. Anyway, I guess I'm here. SPY still bouncing off of none other than the trend line down through here. You can see how we came back up, got a little rejection right there. It looks like we did get overextended right in here. I saw that we got overextended right here. Right there, we got overextended. But overall, it still looks pretty decent. It looks like SPY might go up a little bit more in here. We'll see if SPY gets back up here, which doesn't look likely. But SPY has some nice bull dips down through here. But if SPY, this is a 15-minute time frame. SPY gets above here, happy, it's gonna be nice. I'm about to sound like Tino, happy days. Um, oil, oil. When we last looked at it, it was here. We were talking about it coming back into here and getting a bounce. If it didn't hold there, then we look to the top side of the box right here, came back up, bounce, came down, bounce, came down, bounce, came down, bounce. Now we're breaking down below this. I haven't really updated. I actually haven't updated anything in here on this. I know I said that this liquidity right here, they come in here and get this. I don't trade oil. I'm not about to trade oil. It's too volatile. Oil, it's just not for me. But I suppose, I mean, since it held this so much, I'd be looking for it to try to hold that again. Then if it doesn't, then maybe, um, yeah, then maybe through here, maybe through here around 94, something like that for oil. Oh, fix. Let's see. Well, people ain't scared today. They ain't scared today. Oh, all right. Oh, let me get off of this. This looks like the formation on this looks rising. It's rising. And so we got one more gap down there that we could potentially fill out today. And this looks more like a return place, in my opinion. Either it rejects here from the 786, or maybe it just comes back up here and takes this right here. And then, if the 4 hours going to try to push, 4 hours going to try to push, it looks like it will. I mean, 15 minute looks like it will come back in here a little bit. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. This looks like it'll come back up here. This would be like a standard one right here, standard two right here. This would be a capping point, in my opinion, unless it did something different. That would be a capping point right there at the 786. Put in a bear dip on this one, but we'll see how it plays out. I just wasted my time taking that short. Let's see what we did. This right here. Um, let's see. Hold on, I'm so sorry. It would be nice if I had you on this chart, right? Yeah. It'd be nice if I had you over here. What I was saying is Bitcoin looks like it could push back into either the golden pocket or 786. I'm really leaning towards 786. And if we didn't stall at the 786, I'll look at it higher that it get taken. But either way it goes, in here, I'm going to look to get a better position on short right in here. Just see if we can't get more of a corrective move on that 4 hour. See if we can. That that looks, a little bit rising. Can't really tell it from here. It's not an inside range or anything like that, as far as I can tell. See it from a 5 minute perspective here. Yeah, I don't like that. Looks quite messy. Okay. So if I was using that, then it would tell me, hey, you might want to make sure you got a pause on that. Stick a pin in that right here, this golden pocket. Move back up. We did get a little extended here. It's 15 down here. So it's a peak right there too. Pull this. This. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I had a pretty decent weekend. St. Patty's Day, St. Patty's weekend. A lot of noise out there. St. Patty's, lots of noise. Trying to go anywhere here in the city, they were. You're trying to go anywhere. I live in Atlanta, so if you're trying to go anywhere in the city, parking was hefty. If you ask me, it was hefty. Minimum about $35 to just freaking park. At least that was a flat rate. If you're paying for hours, then it'd be worse. I didn't think to take the train. Should have taken the train. But we got out there some walking. Tried to go sit down and eat at this one little spot. The noise, the music was so freaking loud from the live band. And we ended up somewhere very peaceful. It's only about five of us sitting inside this little diner, which was a cool little spot. They have some really good food. Their prices have gone up ridiculously, in my opinion. I don't get out of that. I'm a vampire. I'm just giving Bitcoin a little bit of time here, see what it's going to do. Already back at the 20th of May. Like I said, MACD look like it's trying to roll back up here on 15 minutes. Would be more like a bear div in here. On that, if you're taking a look at, you can see how extended the MACD was. I mean, actually, you don't have an extension here on the MACD, but you can see how the divergence between the MACD and the Delta. So they were both diverging. Delta was coming down, MACD still pushing up. That divergence ends up leading as the Delta gets close to the zero line, it ends up leading into a reversal anyway. But this was ultimate, like the SFP off of this candle right here. If I had been awake and caught that, oh my gosh, that would have been nice. I could at least been in and out. But if this comes up, it'll put in a very div in here off of the MACD. Look at that volume though. If this is all we've done. You see these candles, these advanced blocks. I mean, we keep doing this repeatedly right there, right there. And they're very common right there, right there. I mean, we got them everywhere, everywhere trying to get this move to the upside. I'm telling you, I don't know what. I mean, it has underlying strength, but it's like, again, like I said on Friday, it's like it's trying to survive though. Like flat squeeze, flat squeeze. I don't think that's the spot, but y'all can have that. I don't think that's it. Like that. Let's see. It is a 20 SMA rejection. Um, reaction. Reaction. 20 SMA reaction. Uh, hmm. Something else I noticed that's really nice too is we don't daily doesn't actually have any bear divs anymore either. I know we talked about that one time before at another point in price action where I didn't see the bear div anymore, but now I no longer see it on my QTD indicator either. So that's another plus. Not having any bear div there. I mean, this could be a rejection point. This is again like this. Is, looking at this off a 15-minute time frame, this is actually where I got in at on my short position. Which again, not the best short position to be had. I'll share that with you. Because like I said, I was asleep when I woke up. I kept trying to get in, kept trying to get in. I was having a hard time getting to the trade. By the time I did get in, it was even worse. But that was exactly where I got in at. So was right here on this little candle right here. It was just below this wick too. So not particularly the best entry. Yeah, it was right there. It's right there. Right there. About where the meat of this candle, where the candle closes at. It was where I got in at right there, which looks different from here on the Binance chart, but that's where it is. It's right there. So, like I said, if we do get a little bit higher, I'll cut that because it's not the best. It's not the best, but it's what I could do at the time. It would be nice to take the liquidity right here. I know at that point we're gonna look like a head and shoulders if we were to get down here and get into this liquidity right here. Let me see something here. Yeah, a lot of shorts got wrecked on. I'm not gonna say wrecked. I should say wrecked, but on that candle push right here, it's a lot of it hit a lot of shorts right there. Liquidation, man. So I was looking at it right here. I actually got some pretty good liquidity overhead that that's about what we are talking about. If price can get back into that, what I need. So I'm really looking towards all this extra liquidity down below, but put this on 48, 15 minutes. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. We shall see. We shall see. Speaking of which, I think gold actually hit the level I was looking at. Um, it did right in here. It's actually down below it slightly, so I'm considering. I'm considering a position right here, even though I know this looks bearish as crap. I'm considering it though. And like we said the other day when we was looking at it, it was between taking making an attempt here and then making an attempt down here. But I could tell from the daily. No, it's this one right here. Like if we would this is the area in which I said It hasn't broken this yet. So if it's going to bounce, it will bounce from here. And if it fails, then, the next level is what I'm going to take a chance on for gold. Quite boring now since, it's been really sideways. And that's the best time. But it's sit right in here. I turn this on. I look at it from a weekly perspective right here. It's talking about this, like not really deviating far from this. Price have been tending to bounce around the orange right here. Like we broke through it that time, but we came back up. So we'll see. Bounce, blah, 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 bounce, 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 bounce. Sniffing around it, bounce. So it will. I'm thinking about it right here. Let's see one more thing, and then I'll likely give that a shot. Likely give that a shot for gold. I haven't really looked at silver. Um, oh yeah, that that got to be expected. It didn't even. I just kind of figured it probably wouldn't care anything about this line anymore, but I did take the wick out of it. So don't need this on this because it doesn't work for. It's not gonna work for that. Yeah, I guess if I was looking for something, I have to look down here. Again, fair flaggy. Mm, overextended. See how it did the last couple of times. It got overextended. Got a little small correction and it double dipped and a decent correction there. And decent there. That was an uptrend, so that's gonna perform different. I don't know. I'm not gonna trade it though. Um, just missed that. Think about this one. I might take that though. Yeah, let me take us back over here to Bitcoin. We're just on the previous day high once again with a small little rejection from the mean. Um, Structurally, it looked bad. I think it was like right in here for seeing me for the gap for seeing me. Yeah. Mm. I really want to see it lose this previous day high because looks like it could attempt to hold that. Let me see what's going on over here with my music. It's giving me a hard time. Hmm. Can't get it to play. Getting annoyed with the streaming platform. I'm gonna unhook and rehook. Okay. Um, hmm. Yeah, we got pretty overextended on all those time frames. 15 1 hour, 4 hour. There's something else I was looking at this morning too, and it was from that monthly time frame. Um, one thing that we've done successfully, and I talked about this, but this right here hasn't relaxed enough in my opinion. Like this would slow down a lot more. It's still pretty close to the top up here, but it won't change until the month ends anyway, where you'll see it look a little bit more relaxed. But aside from that, we're not too far off from that 50 historically. And I dropped these two parallel lines in here, uh, just looking for the SFP through here, like it did every other time. But back above 50 has been pretty good for Bitcoin. Anytime it got back above 50, it really did do really really nice. So whichever one happens first. We bear did. There's a little divergence on this one right here, but for the most part, yeah. Anytime it comes back up 50, something like that, or the SFP itself, that tends to be it. Um, in terms of a low, I know we're far off, but it'd be some sad faces if, if that was. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying it'd be some sad faces if it was. But anything in here was a good accumulation spot. Like this is where you accumulate as soon as you drop into this cloud right here. It's been a reversal point every single time. Historically, we reversed every time we drop into this cloud. So could have came in a little bit lower. I guess everybody would have been anticipating it. A good buy. I haven't actually looked at Ethereum or Solana or anything else. I knew we were gonna try to hold that. Quap. Let's see. And still no actual direct shrink just yet, even though we have the little bounce. Bulls are still in control. Still no consistent strength right now. And again, like I said, if you were looking to short it, I think that this is a good way, making that consideration right here, like just getting back up here towards the resistance of your standard deviation 3 right here. If it pushes through, then of course consider your trend line from those two connection points right there. That's the measured move, of course, 1-to-1 on a range breakout. Puts it right here, the top side right here. In my view, that would be exhaustion for the 4 hour. I said that on Friday too. I'm usually right when I say it's exhaustive, but on Friday when we had the exhaustion on the 15 minute, we got squeezed out more. But I see exhaustion here on 4 hour. About the only thing that's missing on the 4 hour is going to be the bear divs, but I'm still sticking to my thesis that it's exhaustion in here. It was back on its 15. I'll get ready to short it if it. I say we. I am. Get a better position. Right now, my focus is going to be centered on this golden pocket. This is what I'm looking at, kind of lines in with that. Let's see. I can see what resistance we're hitting a little bit in here, which is also the neckline break from the double, well, from the tweezer top. Uh, from the um, from the 1 hour time frame is basically what we have that range drawn out at. We're just tapping the lower part of that. And it's a little bit of resistance right there, just right here, back at this low. And you saw it was golden pocket too, but my focus is right here. So putting in some compression right here again. See us got that claw right here. Let's see if we don't respect that. Yeah, they doing the most. Volume is making some attempt to come up right here. So a lot more interaction, especially since we're sniffing around, going to 5786. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We're just hitting standard deviation one right now, along with these lows. We got I think we got Fed like this week too. I think we do. I haven't actually. Today we don't really have much, but we got Empire State Manufacturing Index today. Uh, and then home sales tomorrow. We got PPI on Wednesday, and yeah, we do have federal funds rate on Wednesday. So yeah, uh, expect some volatility. We got crude oil inventories too on Wednesday. That's going to be interesting. I've never really paid attention to that one, so we'll see what that's looking like. It's more of a lightweight scenario with that, but given the environment, we'll see how that works on Wednesday. I haven't changed my position yet. I'm considering it, but I haven't changed it yet. I'm still close to where that terrible entry is. And actually tap the golden pocket either, um, or what I was looking at in here. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's why I didn't bother to change my position yet. Uh, so I still have this trashy entry.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, on Bitcoin.
It's 74 now.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll go to 80 this week?
We kind of relaxed a little bit in here on that compression, but can see if it follows through, it would be from there. Just kind of came up to here, and then it decided it wasn't going to follow through. So right here, you can see we decided not to follow through with the breakout here. Let's see what's happening right here. I don't know that I'm seeing it. Let me change this just to see. I don't know. I don't like it. Let's see why it's doing that. I don't really like the success rate from here, but we'll see if that's wrong. Less than an hour before we get that closed here on the 4 hour. I'm still waiting. Again, still holding on to my terrible entry, which is from here on the short. Um, I didn't see a reason to close it out here or to better my entry. So if they get that liquidity, that would be my suggestion. It won't hurt if it takes that. I mean, it could end up doing more if it were to come back into that. Let's see what that's going to be if it were to. All right, trying to see. Looks like we have potential for some actual momentum to kick in this time to push it up a bit more. Might be a slight move above this little wick over here or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from. That's not it. Oh my gosh. Please stop. Boyfriend's constantly trying to feed me. I got some good jeans though. I'm tall and skinny. All right, we're just chilling. Let me take a look at Ethereum real quick. I haven't really seen it. I don't even remember where that was from, but go to a different time frame. It's kind of weird. what that look like on the daily. Okay, it's actually pushing through that. Hmm. Easy peasy. Hmm. Hmm. I'm still holding that 25 minutes left. This 4 hour candle close. Like I said, 4 hour exhaustion is, it did appear. You can see it in the 2 weeks at the top side for Bitcoin as well. Just a matter of it yielding. If not, I showed where I think the short entry would be. Ideally for me, we'll be taking that high we made. We're at a sell wall though. Just buying some time. See anything interesting? That's some really nice liquidity right in here for XRP. And it's around a major weekly level. So I do like this right through here. To get to it, just like you got the good liquidity right in here. It's gotten to most of this. Let's see what's the best point. And then underneath the course, we already took that. So I guess it will be this. Seem a little bit too far though. Still chilling. It looks toppy. Can't guarantee it is, but it looks okay. It held on to that. It looks toppy though. Let's see if this makes sense. It's expanding. Did that make sense? Makes a little bit more sense. Well, guys, the market is quite boring, so I'm going to just continue to watch for. Trying to see what. Yeah, S&P still pushing up some pre-market. Cool, 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 cool. I'm just going to stay on the lookout for a situation again where we push back into this high, possibly taking that liquidity from that prior range high. And then I'll be looking to improve on my short position. I'm not touching it right now. I'm in a little bit of a negative on that short right now. I showed you where I entered at. Wasn't the best entry, and I didn't see myself wanting to modify the position at that golden pocket. So again, if we get into here, we have standard deviation 3. We also have the 60 EMA through here with the top side of this trend line in here and the measure move for this breakout here from this mother bar right here. So some pretty good resistance right in here, and that's why I'll be looking to improve on my short position right here. If we can get into that. 4 hour move. Doesn't look like it will come down too much, not based on the 4 hour. But if for some reason we go blasting through here, not exactly sure where the 43 is. Well, I bet, but I know that that's probably going to be a resistance point right there, about 43 bucks. And next to 44 right here with 60 right here, but about 40, 43. I'm not saying they can't or won't decide to push through it. If they do, then I would look at that. But some resistance is definitely going to come in right there. It's like one of the largest contracts they gave out right there. They tend to reverse somewhere around that point if we were to keep pushing anyway. Put this on 24. Yeah, that's what I think. So no actual update in here right now because it only reflects when market is open. But like this strike right here, which again is 43. I have to see what it looks like when market actually opens though. But this one of the strikes that we've been watching for anywhere between 38 and 43. Likely resistance. It looks really nice. Mm. And don't forget that CME gap too. Like I said, you got this little CME gap. This one. If they so choose to come back in for it. This one is done. S&P got a bear div. Not that I think this will happen, but I just want to see what it would be looking like if it did. from there will be this liquidity. And it's not gonna get perfect for me, unfortunately. I don't even know if it's gonna break or if that'll be a thing. Still would need to close below this low too. Right now I'm only looking at this one, but this is very favorable. 71.3, which is what we bounced from what on Friday? Oh, Sunday. I don't know why I keep thinking that's. I'm back to looking okay on the short from my trash position. Um, but again, I didn't want to change it just because we pushed in right there. Now, if we pushed past this, I would have closed it and looked to improve it. Um, Still gonna be aiming for this liquidity to get taken, but I'll be out of this if it does more than this right here. Though if it does more than this, I'll be out of it. Right now, the way it's positioned, it looked like it would be overextended into the 786. Just right now in this moment, how it's positioned. Um, it doesn't look like anything that would expand. It looks like overextension back into here on the 15-minute, which can change rapidly, but right now that's how it looks. Also, a little flag situation right here. I think overcompensating really. So on the move down, I'm really going to be watching here again. It's for me personally. I would be excited. This right here. It can take this and still be good. And to the upside, I'll be watching for this to get taken into that trend line I mentioned. Still be well above the 200 EMA, taking that liquidity right there as well. Overall move. That's a good long entry. Let me see how this would affect the daily. Make sure we got this thing right. Yeah, we probably wouldn't get this one. That's too close to previous day low. Um, this one right here we could take, and if we were doing that again, I do think that this is really good, good support right here for a new long entry. No, it's gonna look like a head and shoulders. It will actually be a head and shoulders. Don't get that twisted, but they don't always play out. I say if we were down here, we'd be doing way too much, of course. But in terms of the gap that's still left to be filled on CME, where it's at right now with this, if I move this, which yeah, even by moving it, I wouldn't expect for golden pocket to hold, and you have liquidity. So I expect for the liquidity to be taken, and then I look for 786 in that case if you were to pull it from here. Yeah. Assuming that we're not coming up to take the liquidity, but if we do come up and take the liquidity, it's an instant short for me. So I'm gonna draw this one. I just like that better. I mean, same thing, really. Yeah. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I love you. I appreciate you for showing up. 4 hour, overextended a bit. I see some exhaustion come in on that 4 hour time frame. Unfortunately, we didn't, catch this top in here on the live. Price action had already started moving against us. towards the top. But again, if price comes up, I would expect for it to take this liquidity right here. In a volatile environment, I would expect for it to take this if it does manage to come up. If not, then I'm looking to open up a new long. I'm inspired for a new long. This will represent a head and shoulder formation. But I think that this down here is going to be too far for price action to come to. And this right here would be the better, best case scenario, in my opinion, is to take the liquidity from here. And in that case, I'd be looking for these highs over here to hold that support. And then markets try for another move to the upside. It makes it make more sense on the daily as well. And if I'm looking at it on the weekly and I'm saying 72, that's still decent on the weekly candle. It's also a standard deviation. One is around 71.66 right now, 71.66 on the weekly. So yeah, that would probably be too much down there. So somewhere right around taking this liquidity. It's my go-to. It's what I'm leaning heavy on. See if we get it. See if we get it. It doesn't really matter if you draw your fib from down here at the Saturday low or if you draw it from here. And then I just tweet something to like I'm going long, you know, going long Bitcoin. Right now, hopefully this trashy short will play. And I'll get out of that. Yeah. And of course, you've seen what was kind of like still holding as resistance right there, which was right through here. So it's that high right here, this high. You can see it's holding as resistance. Thank you.
Okay.
What they should. So however it goes, I hope one or two work out, either the short down for the long or the push higher for a better short entry. Every time I say that, that little candle moves. Okay, I got CPI. CAT looks overextended. They got CPI at 830. Need to consider doing a little forex trading. Let's come back to that tomorrow and talk about it because it does read that it's what's the word I was about to say? Unsustainable. It look unsustainable. All right, that's the playbook. See you tomorrow at 6 in the morning. Set a stop loss. Set a stop loss. If you did that, set a stop loss. You get better up here. If it comes up there, it'll be better. It'll be better. And always remember to take profit. I hear people all the time asking, should I take profit? Should you? Most trades are lost from greed. Yep. I'm out. Love you.